Toysember rolls on, and I think it's time we got back to a little bit of tokusatsu, and this is a perfect time of year. This is a perfect video format to discuss a few of the extra capsums you can get for your Zeztz driver. I always tend to do little gimmicky review things when it comes to Toysember. This year will be no different, and we are going to look at the second set of rider capsums. Why the second? Well, when you see the lineup, you will find out. But we are going to start with the Gotchard. Now, as you can see, you can a little bit of I was going to say 8-bit, but really color depth-wise, it's a 16-bit sprite of Gotchard. It's meant to mimic his henshin belt with the arrows in the orange. So if I spin it, you can kind of see the animation of that going off, or at least the attempt on an animation of that going off. I still feel like this is not the smoothest or best of ideas for the gimmick, but it works a little bit. He's not the worst I've seen. I can at least see him consistently all the way through the spin. But I am losing the arrows behind him, which I wish was a little bit clearer. But that beside the point. Let's see what he actually sounds like. So yeah, if you've never seen what happens when you use a rider capsum, it's basically that. They have the same standby, but then every one of them has a unique henshin, light effect, and a variation on Good Morning to the tune of their own henshin jingle. For Gotchard, it turns the belt completely blue, and I appreciate that it's kind of an icier shade of blue. LED's putting in some good work there. Matches the capsum perfectly. Wish there might be just like a little bit of orange, like the inner or the middle could have been orange, just for the sake of mixing that in a little bit. But is what it is. Still looks pretty good. Let's see what happens if we just mess around a little bit. You do get the orange flash when you actually use it for basically anything else. But let's see. You get that blue sequence for the stream form when you go for a finisher. Okay, not bad, not bad. So, Gotchard fans, gonna be happy on that one. Alright. So, let's get to why I had to pick this version. We're gonna start with O's for that explanation. Yeah, one of my favorite rider series of all time. You can see his animation there, which his doesn't quite work as well. It tries. It's him trying to slash. And there's metals flying all over, but only in 2 of the frames, so it's losing the effect a little bit. But no, I had to get this since it was O's, so let's see what O's sounds like. Now this part's going to be orange because it's still locked onto this capsum, but we can hear a few new things. We've turned green now. And the best trick they could have done, red, yellow, green. Perfect. Also, I'm just going to point out, a lot of times when I see yellow LEDs on rider belts, they tend to look a little bit greenish. I am actually like really happy with the shade of yellow that this one can hit. But yeah, they did the thing, and I love that they did the thing. And also, yeah, that's a really good take on the Tato-Ba theme by the belt's voice actor, so good job on you. Alright, let's hear the basic attack. Oh, I love hearing the scan noise. Alright, so we've got the green recovery mode for the standby on, I guess, this Capsem in general. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. And again, we get the stoplight. So yeah, always a sucker for anything O's. But, you know, if there's one thing that's going to pull me into any rider set, any kind of legend gimmick, Agito. And I love that Agito is actually recognized here. Like, so many times he ends up as either like a Gashapon exclusive or a Candy Toy exclusive, whatever, like an individual release, because, you know, he's an older Heisei rider, so he gets ignored a lot. It's unfortunate. Once again, his animation's not too great. I would at least expect the logo to be consistent. It kind of is, but it's also kind of trying. It's, you know, it's I don't know. I wish I saw it in more than just 2 frames, because I feel like I'm losing it a little bit too much. Oh, Agito himself is definitely way too active to really pick up an animation on. Yeah, it's not the best, gimmick I've seen them do. But that is just a visual gimmick. We are really looking for what it does here. The legend gimmicks always have to get creative when it comes to the old Heisei riders whose henshin jingles were not jingles. They're just basically cool sound effect. I'm not sure why we have so much red in the LEDs here. It really feels like it should have been primarily yellow. I'd say like 2 yellow and then like maybe white in the middle. It's a little bit of an odd color choice, but, you know, it is what it is. What else do you sound like? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Like I said, not a lot of sound effects to work with in older Heisei. Let's get to the finisher. You know what? I will over-banish this one. And we're getting a yellow standby, which is, as of this recording, not a thing in the show yet. So here we go. And just in case you didn't pick up on it, the overbanish is pretty much the same. The finisher in general is the same for everybody. It just replaces the name and the combination of lights. So you're not missing anything by me skipping out on a few. But that is what you get out of some rider capsums. And, you know, it's not bad. I love the idea of all of the Good Morning henshins being based off of their own henshin jingles. That makes it a little bit more fun. Gives it a little bit more character. I like that a lot. You know, it's just a fun little thing to add a few classic noises to the belt. So yeah, not a bad selection. You get, you know, a little bit of Reiwa, you get a little bit of early, second phase Heisei, and then the second of this classic Heisei. So that is what I got for you today for Toysember. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you for the next one.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.